everyone, it's that time again. It's Christian from Triple C Mama Games. So I'm here, I'm back with another comic book issue of the day. Today's comic book issue is going to be Black Cat #1. That's right, this is the first ongoing series of Black Cat, or featuring Black Cat. One of her first appearances was actually in Amazing Spider-Man, and that book actually goes for some pretty good money. Her series is a 14 comic issue series. It came out in 2019, I believe it was August of 2019. This comic here is about $5 book. It is one of the first main keys in her series, obviously, first ongoing issue. And there are a few other books around the issue here in the series, such as, let's see here. You have the debut of Black Cat's Iron Cat armor. That's in issue number 11. You have a variant cover in issue 12. The spikes the price a about $25 issue. And then you have issue number 13. It's Battle Black Cat versus Queen Cat, which is also called Lily Hollister. Okay. You know, in the future, there's talks of creating a movie that takes Black Cat and puts her into the Iron Cat role. But that's all I've heard so far. It's just talks. But anyways, we'll get back to the comic book here. This artwork's pretty good. Unfortunately, this is not the only piece of artwork. This comic book here, this issue specifically, has, I apologize, I got people racing out here in the streets of Japan, right? You know, who knows? Tokyo Drift, right? Except it's Kanagawa Drift, because I'm just south of Tokyo in the Kanagawa Anyways, so this book here, this is the original cover for Black Cat #1, but there have been 56 different variant covers for this book. Many are just highly touted. This is a Scott J. Campbell cover here. Multiple other artists are also included this here, but I couldn't believe it. 56 different covers. That's crazy. And I think, you know, she is a very iconic character when it comes to the Spider-Man series. But to have her own series not until 2019 was quite interesting. Her character is much older than the most recent, the last 6-year area. But to think that, you know, this character, who many of us actually really enjoy the character, whether it was the comic books back in the day or the cartoon TV show back in the 90s, she is a beloved character. And Felicia Hardy, why not, right? She has that ability to, you know, bring the sex appeal to the comic, but also bring that thief-like, like a synopsis. And hey, she's a friend of Peter Parker, right? But anyways, this book here, you can see the cover. It's actually a pretty good cover. I do like this style of cover. Mine's slightly faded. I'd probably give this somewhere around a 7. Maybe. I mean, ideally, if I'd buy this book again, I'd probably buy one of the variant covers, because there's some really nice variant covers out there for this specific book. But I want to buy the other copy of this here. I might have a second one somewhere floating around here. One that's a little more vibrant in color. That's a little better condition, this one here. But this is a good reader copy for someone that's reading the book for the first time, okay? This book here is pretty much based off of her and a heist. She goes through, she introduces a couple of her crew, 2 people specifically. And the book actually ends, or the comic actually ends, with the introduction of who kind of taught her how to be a thief, okay? The one thing I thought was interesting about this book, the artwork's pretty decent. I just wanted more. I felt like the story was kind of blah. It didn't really have a lot of oomph to it. So I'm hoping that as I continue to read the story, there's more to it, okay? I would say that I think, based off my love for the character, I think she's a great addition to the Spider-Man series. And I'm looking forward to reading her comic here. So like I said, I'm hoping that there's more to the series than just what I read in this one here. What I've also noticed about this book here, it actually has 2 mini comics inside of it. One that's a second issue, or a second copy of a different style of comic about Black Cat and her love for her feline friends, her purloins or purline kitty cats. And that second comic book that's in here, short story, is about another character that's kind of like chasing after Dracula. So it was interesting you read the book, you get about 2/3 of the way through it, book's done. Then you have these 2 miniseries, and it's just something different to it. Me personally, I would have rather taken those 2 miniseries out and adding more to the story to kind of give you more stuff, more substance, more to allow you to, hey, I want to continue reading about the story. Other than that, like I said again, I'm looking forward to reading this book in the future and kind of see where it goes. Let me know your experience. Do you like Black Cat? Do you think that she's a great character? Do you think that she brings, some excitement to the Spider-Man world? But what about her own comic book itself? Now, before I end sign off today, one thing I've noticed is that the newer comic books are really, really short. The one I read yesterday, or the last few days when I read Blue Devil and Blue Beetle, I just feel like the books from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, mainly the 70s, 80s, are much longer. The stories have more development to them. They're more complex. They've got more, character design and they're just better overall. This story was relatively short, and most books that I'm reading that are from, I would say in the 2000s up till now, are relatively short, which are kind of disappointing. So I encourage the comic book industry to maybe, step the game up a little bit. Now, some of the new comics are pretty dang good. So maybe there was this lull back in the mid-2000s that just wasn't really that good, okay? But I'm hoping that as I continue reading more about Black Cat and her 14-issue series, that I find that the story gets much better. But anyways, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about the book. Do you like you some Black Cat, some Felicia Harding? I mean, she's probably one of the sexiest comic book characters out there, next to like Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy and Vampira. But hear me out. The story could use a little more development. Anyways, Christian out.